April 30th, 1863. Under the burning sun of Veracruz, Mexico, 65 soldiers of the French Foreign Legion marched across the dry countryside. Within hours, they would be surrounded by nearly 2,000 enemy troops. They had no artillery, no reinforcements, and no chance of survival. Yet what happened that day at the small village of Camarón would become one of the most famous last stands in military history. To understand the battle, we must look at the war surrounding it. In 1862, the French Empire under Napoleon III launched a military intervention in Mexico. France sought to establish a friendly monarchy and secure its influence in the Americas. French forces supported the Austrian Archduke Maximilian I of Mexico, but many Mexicans remained loyal to the Republican government led by Benito Juárez. Guerrilla fighters and Republican troops constantly attacked French supply lines. And convoys traveling inland from the port of Veracruz became vital and dangerous. The soldiers assigned to protect these convoys were members of the Legion. Founded in 1831, the Legion recruited volunteers from across Europe and beyond. Its soldiers were known for harsh discipline and the rule, the mission comes first. By 1863, Legionnaires had already fought in Algeria, Crimea, and Italy. But the small patrol marching toward Camarón was about to enter history. The detachment was commanded by Jean Danjou, a respected captain. Years earlier, Danjou had lost his left hand. In its place, he wore a wooden prosthetic. Despite his injury, Danjou was known for calm leadership and strict discipline. Under his command were 2 lieutenants and 62 legionnaires. On April 29th, intelligence warned that Mexican forces were preparing to attack a major convoy. Danjou's detachment was ordered to patrol the region near Camarón. At dawn, on April 30th, the legionnaires marched out. What they encountered instead was not a patrol, but an army. Suddenly, scouts spotted Mexican cavalry approaching. Soon it became clear they were facing roughly 2,000 Mexican soldiers under Colonel Francisco de Paula Milán. Outnumbered more than 30 to 1, Danjou knew escape was impossible. Captain Danjou gathered his men. He asked them to swear an oath. They would hold their ground and fight until the last man, if necessary, protecting the supply convoy. Every legionnaire raised his hand and agreed. The soldiers retreated to a nearby hacienda, a thick-walled farm complex that could serve as a defensive position. Mexican forces quickly surrounded the building. They demanded surrender. The legionnaires responded with rifle fire. Wave after wave of attackers tried to storm the compound. Inside the walls, the legionnaires fought with careful discipline, conserving ammunition and covering every entrance. The battle continued for hours under the relentless heat of the Mexican sun. Water ran out, ammunition ran low. Captain Danjou was killed early in the fighting. His lieutenants continued the defense. By mid-afternoon, most of the legionnaires were dead or wounded, but the survivors refused to surrender. By late afternoon, only 5 legionnaires remained able to fight. Their ammunition was gone. Instead of surrendering, they fixed bayonets, then they charged. The Mexican commander halted the battle. He was impressed by the courage of the legionnaires. The surviving soldiers were allowed to keep their weapons and were treated with respect as prisoners. Of the 65 men, only 3 remained standing. The Battle of Camarón became the defining legend of the French Foreign Legion. Every year on April 30th, legionnaires commemorate the sacrifice. His wooden hand is still preserved and carried during ceremonies, a symbol of duty, discipline, and the oath to never abandon the mission. 65 soldiers, 2,000 enemies, 11 hours of resistance. Some battles are fought for victory, others for honor. Thank you for watching.